Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, you can see still Iraq taking the steps necessary to deal with corruption, update all their systems so they can keep better track of things, and continuing down the path of joining the international community. So let's get into this. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. So this is the Iraqi President, Rashid, said the government reached a peace that contributed to stopping the attacks in Iraq. Said the President of the Republic, Rashid, that Iraq is against the attacks that are taking place in Iraq or on Iraq from any party, and the government has reached a peace that contributed to stopping the attacks. Iraq wants to establish good relations with the United States, not only in military affairs, but in economic, trade, political, diplomatic, scientific, and cultural aspects. And the Iraqi government is working on understanding about the presence of the international coalition forces in the country and setting a timetable for their survival, missions, and the time of their departure. He also pointed out that the security stability that Iraq is enjoying now is important, and the situation today is better than it was in the past years. The presidency of the Republic, the government, and the House of Representatives are working very much in consolidating this ability. So making sure that the country and the government are stable is very important, big steps towards achieving our goal. Our biggest concern is when Hamas went into Israel and attacked them. And ever since then, Israel has been plowing those people over. And it doesn't seem like they're going to stop. So that sent all kinds of shockwaves through the Middle East. And I was pretty concerned about what Iraq was going to do. So far, they've managed to stay neutral and out of the situation, which is exactly what we want them to do. The president pointed out the suffering of the Palestinian people exceeded everything that human rights can accept. And the international community has a duty to reach a permanent ceasefire and resolve the Palestinians' issues permanently by living on its legitimate land, pointing out that Iraq has since the beginning with the rights of the Palestinian people to self-determination and the establishment and recognition of their independent state in the United Nations and the international community. Well, the same might be said for the Kurdistan people. You know what I mean? Yeah, so far they managed to stay out of that conflict. So far. There is no escape from the Kucoin traders of Iraq. Electronic automation is coming to all ports. So we spoke about this before when, Iraq is way back in the Stone Age. They were using pencil and paper. They didn't have an updated system. And because of the fact that they were so outdated, they were able to commit a lot of corruption within the government. And now as Iraq updates their systems and starts to become more and more automated, it's getting harder and harder for these corrupt people to steal from the Iraqi people. The head of the Border Port Authority confirmed today, Friday, to proceed with the activation of the system Kucoin by the General Authority of Customs in the Grand Welcome Square and the start of automating work electronically at all ports in a gradual way, at all costs, as well as network connections of sonar and electronic programs by the Border Port Authority to integrate with all departments operating at ports electronically while summarizing the benefit of electronic checking, the border crossings, and the detection of the largest fraud in which the value of the waste exceeds 3 billion Iraqi dinars. That's a lot of money that's slipping through their fingers because they don't have the right system there to check on border crossings. There's where you get a lot of stuff in the black market. So the transition to electronic work represents the government orientation as the government program includes great attention in the field of border and custom ports and stress the transition from paperwork to electronic work. Yeah, that's how outdated they are. And they kept it that way for a reason. As you can imagine, if you're doing everything by paper, it's real easy to just lie and commit fraud. He added, thanks to the government support and continuation orientation, the ASACUDA system was activated by the UNCTAD in a contract with the Ministry of Finance on March the 1st. The system began at the port of the northern port of Qasr in the Welcome Square. And you can see right here what he says. He says he pointed out that there is an expected reaction from some weak souls who lived on the incorrect work, as their interests will be hit by the entry of automation and electronic governance, stressing that the authority did not care about these objections, but carried out qualitative operations and seized a large group of traders and importers in violation of the law. And there is a government will and government guidance to proceed with electronic automation at all border ports and irrevocably, whatever the cost. Yeah, it's the same thing with the banking industry. As they become automated, of course, you're going to get some objections from those people who are corrupt. So you can clearly see the corruption is everywhere. But Iraq is doing something about it, which is what we want to hear. He said, despite the objections that have occurred, the commission continued its work, and we do not allow the entry of any goods until they are subject to the scrutiny and electronic data. Now, are they saying this thing has only been in operation since the 1st of this March? Because it's only been a week, and already look at this. Among the recently archived results, a drug dealer and a carrier were seized at one of the eastern ports, and over the course of 2 days, about 213 contraband cars under the motto came to the ports were seized based on suspicious agreements. But the port authorities had another opinion by adjusting these wills, and the investigation will be conducted, and the carrier companies, importers, and companies that begin to bring these cars will be held accountable. So in just a week's time, they're already seeing results. This is good. The seizure of the largest fraud in the tax, exceeding 3 billion dinars so far, stressing that the audit is underway retroactively in all the details of the operation. The process was the forgery of tax receipts, as this is done through the tax employees at the border crossings to cut off an imaginary connection in the real amount. But what goes as a final revenue to the state is much lower than the real fees that was taken at the border crossing, and therefore these funds go to the pockets of the corrupt. For example, there are goods whose tax fees are 5 million dinars. The employee gives a fake receipt at the amount within a transaction to complete the procedures and take the goods out of the port, but the amount of 5 million turns into 50,000 Iraqi dinars with another receipt that goes a final revenue to the state, and therefore the difference of 4.95 million dinars goes to the pockets of the corrupt. That's terrible. You understand, like, as they go fully automated, how much more money is going to come into the Iraqi government once you're able to do exactly what we're seeing here, is all the corruption get weeded out. So that's a huge step towards doing something about the corruption. And here's another one. Iraq recovers former transport director for alleged misuse of 16 million in public funds. Iraq's pursuit of accountability and transparency took a significant step forward with the extradition of the former Ministry of Transport Director General, accused of a severe misappropriation of public funds. The individual allegedly led a profitable entry into a financial abyss, resulting in staggering losses according to the Iraq's Federal Commission of Integrity. So not only are they recovering the money, but they're also going after the individuals who left the country. The gravity of the situation is underscored by the official statement from the commission, which detailed how the former Director General took control of a thriving company, only to navigate it towards financial ruins. The losses incurred under his management amount to 23 billion Iraqi dinars, approximately 16 million US dollars, overshadowing the company's initial valuation of 19 billion IQDs. This dramatic turnaround highlights a catastrophic mismanagement of resources and a blatant disregard for fiscal transparency. And we see these in the news every now and then where they caught somebody who had stolen from the Iraqi people with large amounts of money. I mean, 16 million is a lot of money, but we've seen them do it in the hundreds of millions. Iraq's waste-to-energy project attracts 17 bids. Iraq has attracted significant interest from both local and foreign companies for the construction of a waste-to-energy plant located in Baghdad. The National Investment Commission in Iraq announced that it has received 17 bids for the project, making a major milestone in Iraq's efforts to enhance its energy infrastructure and address waste management challenges. Again, it's just another step forward that Iraq has taken. They're small baby steps, but they all equal up. The waste-to-energy plant, once operational, is expected to play a key role in transforming waste into a valuable energy resource. With the capacity to handle nearly 3,000 tons of waste per day, the project aims to leverage innovation technology to convert waste into electricity, which is what Iraq really needs, contributing to Iraq's energy security and sustainability objectives. You can see right here it says the project aligns with Iraq's broader strategy to diversify its energy sources and reduce reliance on the traditional fossil fuels. In other words, generate non-oil revenues. So look, these are all baby steps, all of them equal to something bigger. And Iraq has taken all the steps necessary to get right with the international community. So it's looking very good for Iraq as long as they stay on this path. Anyways, that's it for now. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll catch you later. I'm out.